Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna
Happy
Mataji.
Nirjal Ekadashi to you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Happy Ekadashi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So we will start the chapter number 5. So I hope you have done chapter number 4. All the quizzes you have done till now. Till now you have read the chapter number 4. So we'll start discussing about chapter number 5 today. That's Karma Yoga. Is what is action in Krishna consciousness. That is chapter number 3 is also the chapter number 3's title is also Karma Yoga. This chapter number 5 is called Karma Sannyas. So we'll know what is Karma Sannyas, action in Krishna consciousness. What is action in Krishna consciousness mean? Nama Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Shrihate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Charini Nirvishesha Swamivadi Pasha Deshani Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So chapter number 4 we have read about the different sections. So about total 5 sections were there. They were
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, she's raised a hand, Prabhu.
yes.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So in chapter number 4 we have read 5 sections were there. So section number 1, knowledge about Krishna transcendence. So Janma, his karma, his activities, all are transcendental. Okay, and the knowledge is received through the parampara, and this knowledge was given to first to Vaswan, then to Manu, then to Ishwaku. These things we read in section 1. Okay, one hand is raised.
Today Deval Mataji is reciting Pravina Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji. Sure.
So section number 2 was Krishna as a goal of all the path and the creator of Varnasma system. So we have read about the Varnasma system in section 2 and all the paths leading to Krishna ultimately, but all the paths are different. Like that. And in section number 3 we have read about the Karma Yoga, how to do your duty as well as service to Krishna. Okay. Then the section number 4, sacrifices. What sacrifices we have read? What devotee sacrifice, what Karma Yogi sacrifice, what the Dhyan Yogi sacrifice, what is what is sannyasi sacrifice. So different types of sacrifices we have read. What is the grihastha sacrifices are there. So all these sacrifices we have read. And in section number 5, summary of transcendental. So Krishna was saying Arjun. So this the attachment you should cut through the knowledge of the transcendental. So this transit comes around. And then again, he said fighter. Okay, so this is the chapter number 4. Somebody will have read it now. And in this is chapter number 5. So what we are going to read, there are mainly 6 divisions are there. Okay. Section number 1, that is 6 sloka, Nishkaama Karma Yoga. That is, so Arjun is again asking about the same question. Okay, what is good? Nishkaama Karma Yoga or renunciation? What is good? Working is good or renunciation is good? So Arjuna is again asking this question. So Arjuna will be answering this question. Krishna will be answering the slides are not changing. Yes, Mataji, this slides are not changing. My screen.
Prabhu, we are in the chapter 5, Karma Yoga, action and Krishna consciousness is what we can see.
I'll reshare Mataji. Yes. Yes, now is it changing, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu, it's working fine now.
So now this is the second method I use. First method is just sharing the slide, and second method is sharing with the video like this. So 2 methods I generally use. This is the second method. Okay. So in this section, what we have, but in this, yes, so we have first section is Nishkaama Karma. So Arjuna is asking again the same question. What is good? Working in devotion is good or renunciation is good? So Arjuna is still confused about the renunciation and work. Okay. So Krishna will be clarifying both in the section number 1. And then section number 2, that is 5.7 to 5.12, how to perform Nishkaama Karma. Okay. So Krishna will be talking about this. Then section number 3, perform platform of knowledge, knowing the 3 doers. So 3 doers we will be doing. So first and second section we will do today. And these other sections like 3, 4, 5, and 6, they're small section. So we will be taking tomorrow. Okay. And section number 4, liberation by focus on the super soul. Then section number 5, just a brief introduction about the Ashtanga Yoga. So only 2 slokas are there, 27 and 28. Okay. And the next chapter, that is chapter number 6, Krishna will be talking, both the chapter will be talking about the Ashtanga Yoga. Okay. So just a brief introduction, 27 and 28 about the Ashtanga Yoga. And then section number 6, that is peace on the platform of liberation. So how to achieve peace? There is some problem in this area. Then I will share. Just 1 minute. I'll share again. Okay. So this is the thing. So we will be discussing all those things today. What is Karma Sannyasa Varni? So 2 sections we will be discussing. So Arjuna's confusion, why Arjuna's confusion has been arising again and again, why Arjuna is asking the same question. So this is section number 1. Section number 1 is Nishkaama Karma Yoga, easier than renouncing work. Okay. So Arjuna again asked whether renouncing work is superior to working with detachment. Okay. So Arjuna is asking whether renouncing the work is superior or working with detachment is superior. So Arjuna is asking this question. So Krishna's reply will be both are equal in the sense that both are meant to the same goal. Okay. So So both are, so we'll see that Krishna is answering, both are good. Okay, renouncing the work is also good and working with detachment are good. Both are same only. Krishna will be telling that both are same only. Both will be leading to the same platform, same thing only. But working in devotion is good, better. So this will be the answer. Okay. So emphasize working with the detachment as easier and superior. So it's saying the working with devotion is easier and it is superior. So Krishna will be saying that. So let's see. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha shamsasi yachreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunishchitam.
So Arjuna is saying, oh Krishna, first of all you asked me to renounce work. Okay, so you are asking, you are giving me various reasons that transcendental knowledge, so that in transcendental knowledge, the chapter number 4 we have read, we should have a transcendental knowledge. So we will be liberated through all the why it is happening again and again. Mataji, this link is invalid.
Prabhuji, we'll
I'll
recheck.
check.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll recheck. We'll recheck. Yeah.
Now our slide is also not working. I'll share through different minutes.
It's working, Prabhuji.
Working, no?
Yes,
Mataji
yes.
is working.
Yeah.
Arjuna said, oh Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work. So in chapter number 4, he was telling that transcendental knowledge is best, transcendental knowledge best, we should acquire transcendental knowledge, and we should, the person who is in transcendental knowledge, there is no work for me, like that Krishna was saying. So Arjuna is not confused. The transcendental knowledge is better, transcendental knowledge is better. But in the last sloka, you told me that transcendental knowledge is better, and then you told me to Arjuna, so again stand and fight. Okay, so this was the thing which, from which Arjuna was confusing. Okay, so Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work, and then again you recommend work with the devotion. Now, will you kindly let me know definitely which one of the two is beneficial? Okay. Mataji is again
We'll check, Prabhuji. We'll
valid
come back.
link.
Yeah. We'll check and come back.
Two devotees are told that it is invalid.
Okay. Okay, Prabhuji. We'll check and
Rajni
come back.
Verma Mataji has raised the hand. Mataji, you want to say anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So my voice is clear?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, sir. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sannyasah Karma Yogascha Nihishreyasakarā Bhubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasa At Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
We will be discussing those now. We have not gone till that. Deval Mataji will be reciting today, Mataji. If you want, we will give chance to for the next step. Okay, Mataji. Just let me know if my slide is moving or not. Yes, is my slide moving, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, attendance field. Okay. Okay, so we'll see from here. Till now, Arjuna Vacha Sannyasa. So Arjuna is asking which one is better, renouncing the work is better or work with the devotion is better. Okay. So Arjuna's main question is which is better, Krishna, renouncing the work or work with the devotion is better. So why this doubt again arose with Arjuna? Because if we see in the chapter number 3 also, chapter number 3 also started with the same. And now Arjuna is asking that Arjuna is asking again, which is better, renouncing the work is better or work in devotion is better. Okay, so let's see why this doubt has been aroused in the Arjuna's mind. First of all, Arjuna, two questions Arjuna has asked, that is compassion, daya bhav. Krishna was giving the knowledge of jnana, that is you are not this body, you are the soul, and all these other people are also souls. Okay, and then sinful reaction. So sinful reaction means if we kill these people, then they will be sin. But Krishna's answer is Buddhi Yoga. You work with full devotion to me. You work in full consciousness with me. And in this path, there is no sin. And in this path, if you're, then you are away from the greatest fear also. Because Krishna's answer was this. So, but for one who take pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of the self relation. So these are the chapter, previous chapter sloka. You can see 3.17, 3.8. Whether so Krishna was giving reason for the different thing and why this the confusion arose in the mind in the mind of Arjuna's again. So we'll try to see. So, but for one who take pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self relation and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. So Krishna is saying, one who is full knowledge of Krishna, there is no duty to perform. Like one person who is in full knowledge of Krishna, so there is no duty. Worldly duty he need not to perform, but for that purification is needed. And even if one is purified, he need to do duty so that he can give example to the other people, the people who are following him. But Arjuna is saying from the 3.17, Arjuna is a little confused that Krishna is saying for him there is no duty. So he is saying the person who is in fully in the transcendence of Krishna, there is no worldly duty for him. No worldly duty. Okay. So no spiritual duty Krishna is not saying. So even if the person is in a fully Krishna consciousness, even if person is fully liberated, even though he has the duty to perform what duty, the spiritual duty. Okay. The duty for the body he can give, but the spiritual duty still he needs to perform. Okay. A self-realized man has no purpose. So in 3.18, Krishna is saying a self-realized man has no purpose to fulfill in the discharge of his prescribed duty. Okay. So he self-realized, the person is self-realized, there is no duty for him. Nor he has any reason not to perform such work. Okay? Nor has he any need to depend on any other living thing. So he is fully independent because he is depending on Krishna. So no worldly duty he need to perform. Okay? But there is no reason that he should not perform. So Krishna is saying these things and Arjuna is being confused from this. Okay? Then 4.33. O chastiser of enemy, the sacrifices performed in the knowledge is better than mere sacrifices of the material possession. So in the, when Krishna was talking about the sacrifice, he was telling that sacrifice of the knowledge is better than the sacrifice of material possession. Okay? After all, O son of Pritha, all sacrifices of birth culminate in transcendental knowledge. So all the sacrifices lead to transcendental knowledge. So this is what Arjuna is being confused with. So therefore, this is the last sloka. Therefore, the doubts, Krishna is saying, the doubts which has arisen in your heart out of ignorance should be slashed by the weapon of the knowledge armed by yoga. Oh, Bharata. Then at last, what he says, stand and fight. So Krishna is saying that you should inculcate the transcendental knowledge. Transcendental is knowledge. Knowledge is better. The person who is in transcendental are able to perform in beauty. And again, in the last Krishna is saying, stand and fight. Krishna Arjuna is now confused. So from this chapter number 5 started. Okay, this was the last book of chapter number 4. And from this chapter number 5 started. So this is just a summary, chapter number 2, Jnana Yoga. What in Jnana Yoga, Krishna was saying that work through Buddhi Yoga. Okay, Buddhi Yoga means work for the Krishna. Arjuna becomes confused. So Jnana or renunciation or Buddhi Yoga. So again he was asking what is renunciation or Nishkaama, which is good. So Arjuna was answered at that time. Nishkaama is better. Then again in chapter number 3, what he should do, because he heard about karma through jnana, that is action in inaction and inaction in action. Suppose he heard from the Krishna, and again he is confused because the conclusion was in the chapter number 4, Krishna was verifying the transcendental knowledge, and then at last what he said, stand and fight. So both he was saying, so Arjuna is not confused. So he's telling, in the first book I have read, that he was telling, Krishna, tell me which is better. First is better, that is renunciation is better, or work in devotion is better, which is better. So this was the all things which were leading to Arjuna's confusion. So all being constantly making plan for the future. So how they make future, how our future is decided in this material world will lead. So all things start with the thought. Okay, so this is the red thing, that is thought. So all things starts with our thought. Okay, so we have read in chapter number 2, chapter number 3 also that this lust is the greatest enemy of power, and this lust should be stopped at the earliest one. That is at the point of thought only. When the thought is operating in our mind, then only we should stop that. Okay, so Krishna is, was emphasizing at that level only. Okay, so all being constantly making plans for the future. So plans that they are making, that is thought. Thought are manifested in action. That is, first we have thought, then thought is manifested in action, and then action is repeated action is we do, that it forms the habit. Okay, and habit makes our character, and character determines our destiny. So whatever destiny we have, whatever thing we are doing, that all depends on the thought process. The little thought, the little bad thought if we are having, and if we are watering that thought, then that thought will become our habit. That thought will change our destiny later. So better to stop the thinking. Better to stop that bad thinking at that stage only. Okay, so this is the thing. The thoughts are manifested in action. Action form habits. Habits form character. Character forms our destiny. How to take steps in the right direction is described in the 5th chapter. So thoughts, if we are dedicating our thought to Krishna, that is called Krishna consciousness. If we are making our consciousness, we are dedicating our consciousness to Krishna, we are thinking about Krishna every time, we are doing work for Krishna, that is called Krishna consciousness. So this whole movement, this whole chapter, this whole Bhagavad Gita is about Krishna consciousness. Okay. There are steps leading to further entanglement in the worldly complexities. These thoughts will lead to all these things. Okay, worldly complexity. There are steps leading to life of liberation, freedom, and tranquility and peace. Two types of things are there. One is Maya, one is Krishna. Two different things are there. So, although Maya is a servant of Krishna, but these are two different things. Okay, Krishna is there. That is world of liberation, freedom, tranquility, peace is there. Second, in the world of entanglement, one world of complexity, that is Maya. So we have to choose. So which to choose depends on upon our thought. Okay, so whatever thought we are having, if we are choosing the wrong thought, we will go in the wrong direction. If we are choosing the right path, then we will go in the right direction. Okay, so all things depends on the thought only. So our future depends on our thoughts. Okay, thoughts lead to action leads to habit leads to character will makes our destiny. Okay. So again, this is being shown here. Devotional service better than the dry mental speculation. So Arjuna is thinking here, devotional service better than the dry mental speculation. Second chapter, verse number 11 to 30. Knowledge of the soul is described by Krishna. So again, the same thing is being explained here. Okay. Prescribed duty, train, entanglement of fold, fruitive activity, disentanglement by devotional service, discussed, all discussed in the chapter number 2. Then in the chapter number 3, no duty for a person who is in knowledge. And then chapter number 4, the transcendental knowledge. All kinds of sacrifices were culminated in the knowledge. And at last of the fourth chapter, Krishna told us, get up and fight. That's confusing. So Arjuna is confused. So again, for your understanding, why Arjuna was confused on this slides are there. Okay. So Arjuna is still confused. Why? Is Arjuna, it is Krishna's plan to keep Arjuna's confused. Why Krishna's plan to keep Arjuna confused? Because for our benefit, okay, so that we can understand this Bhagavad Gita, because we cannot understand Bhagavad Gita in second chapter only, and third chapter only, fourth chapter only. We need more chapters, okay? We need more clear explanation. We need repeated hammering that these renunciation, only renunciation of your devotional service as well as your the activity for body is not needed. Okay, so those things why Arjuna is asking again, so that it is hammered again and again in our mind that these things are not written in Bhagavad Gita, these things are not taught in Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so why does Krishna so? Why Krishna does so? Because of our benefit. To stress that work and renunciation are not opposed to each other. So we'll see that work and renunciation both are same only. So how we can mix both? We'll see. Okay. Rather, one must learn to work in a renounced spirit. So we should work, but in a renounced spirit, detachment. We should work with attachment to Krishna. So we should work. We should attach to Krishna, but in a detached mode. Okay. So that is the thing. So both things are same. Arjuna thinks that jnana implies the renunciation of work, and that knowledge and work, like the light and darkness, are contradictory. So he's thinking the work is different thing and renunciation is different thing. The one who is renunciating all the things, he don't have to work, and the person who is working, he cannot renunciate all the things. So he is thinking like that. That work is different thing and renunciation is completely different thing. They are like light and darkness. Okay, so they are completely different thing. This is Arjuna's thinking. Okay, so now Krishna is saying. Krishna emphasizes, however, that one is knowledge should also work. So even if one is in knowledge, we should work. Okay, so we'll see those. Arjuna's confusion. You say work for sense activity must be given up. Okay, work for sense activity. Yes, work for sense activity we should give up. Fighting for kingdom, even with knowledge of soul, seems likely the activity of sense for me. So he's thinking this fighting is also like sense gratification. Therefore, it should be given up. If one works in devotion, then how is work stopped? Okay, so if one person is working in devotion, how the work is stopped? You speak in riddles, action in inaction, inaction in action. So very confusing, Krishna. These are action in inaction, inaction is in inaction. So all things are very, very confusing. So I'm confused. Please clarify my doubts. Okay. Arjuna's question. Let's come to the question: which is better, work with devotion or renunciation of work? Okay, so this is renunciation of work. One person is renounced all the work. He is renounced the bodily work. He is renounced the work for the soul. So all the work he has renounced and he has went to forest. Another person is working with devotion. Yes, which is better? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Sannyasa Karma Yogascha Nishreyasa Karavubhau Tayostu Karma Sannyasat Karma Yogo Vishishyate.
Karma Yoga Vishishyate means Karma Yoga is better. Krishna is saying Karma Yoga is better. So let's see what Krishna is saying. The personality of God has replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both for liberation. So both are in same path only. So the renunciation of work, which work? Mainly the work which is for the bodily pleasure. Okay. The renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. But Of the two, work in devotional service is better than the renunciation of work. So why the renunciation of work is difficult and the work in devotional service is better? Krishna will be explaining that. And Krishna is saying both are good, Arjuna, but the work in devotion is better and easy than the renunciation of work. Okay. So we'll try to differentiate between two, and what Prabhupada says, the renunciation and work of devotion we can both combine if we are renunciating only the work for the body. If we are not renunciating the activity which are for our soul, the devotional activity, and then we are working only for Krishna, then that work also we can dedicate to Krishna. So both are same. Okay. Prabhupada is saying both are same, but some people who are totally renunciate, they will renunciate all the things. They will leave their home, they will leave their family, and they will go to Haridwar, they won't do any work, okay? And they will be sitting there, meditating there, that thing, they will be mentally speculating, okay? Thinking what, who is God, why we are in this body, why we have taken this body, who is God, why, what should be done, they are reading Vedanta, these things they are doing, okay? And ultimately what will happen? By reading all things, gradually they will come to know that, okay, Krishna is God, let me do the devotional service. So ultimately they will come to the devotional service, they will come to the bhakti. But this is very, very dangerous path. Okay, why it is very, very dangerous? Let's see. So renunciation, one side you can see renunciation, or called Mayavadi sannyas. They are emphasizing on the about grasping the knowledge. They're reading the Vedanta. They're trying to know what is God, who is God, that goes. And second part is the work in devotional or a Vaishnava sannyasi. One sannyasi who know that Krishna is God and he is devoted to the devotional service of God. His life is devoted to Krishna. That is called Vaishnava sannyasi. Another side is called Mayavadi sannyasi or renunciation. So the Mayavadi sannyasi renunciation, the person who is renunciated needs prior purification by the prescribed duty. So this is the main thing. Many people they will just renunciate all those things. They will go to sannyas, they will go to Himalaya and they try to meditate there. But their mind is not pure, their heart is not pure. So they will fail anyway. They will fail because their heart is not pure. They cannot sit at one place. They cannot chant because their mind is agitated. Okay, so they will create problem for themselves also as well as the society also. Okay. So it needs prior purification by prescribed duty. So they need to do their duty. Unless and until they are doing their duty and purifying themselves, then they cannot attain the sannyasa. Okay, so this is the thing. So they need prior purification by the prescribed duty. But for a Vaishnava sannyasi, process itself is a purification. So when you are doing the bhakti, then bhakti is also a purification. So when we are chanting, when we are reading, when we are taking sadhana, when we are associating with the devotee, these things are purifying ourselves. Okay, so the process itself is purificatory. So we need not to purify ourselves with the prescribed duty. Okay. Second, simply jnana insufficient for liberation. So only jnana if you have no action you are doing. So if you are having jnana, that Supreme Personality of God is there, and you are not serving it, then there is no use only of jnana. Okay, so only jnana is insufficient for liberation. Action must be there, but in the Vaishnava sannyasi, action is must act in the status of the soul. So soul is the part and parcel of Supreme Soul. We are part and parcel of Supreme Soul. We are server of Supreme Soul. So we should serve him. Okay, and then risk of fall down is there. So if there is only jnana, there is no active service. We are not engaged in service and only mental speculations we are doing. Anytime we can fall because mind is agitated. We are not engaging our mind in something greater, something superior. So Maya, anytime Maya can overcome over the Mayavadi sannyasi or renunciation. Okay, so anytime there is risk of fall is there. Okay? Success is guaranteed because interest into God. You know why? Because they are dependent on Krishna's mercy. So they are fully dependent on Krishna's mercy. They are working for Krishna. They are dependent on Krishna's mercy. So the success is guaranteed. Okay. Incomplete renunciation. Why incomplete renunciation? Because this type of renunciation is called incomplete renunciation because they try to renunciate all those things, but they are not serving Krishna. It is called the incomplete renunciation. But in the devotion, complete renunciation. Why? Because they are not attached to all the things. They are using all those things to the service of Krishna. All those things are there. They are using the material things also. They are using for the service of Krishna. So they use everything for the service of Krishna. But in Mayavadi, there is no service only. So this is called incomplete renunciation. Mayavadis are finding the root, Vishnu. So they are trying to find the root. Okay, one tree is there. They are trying to find where the root. So when the whole world is there, cosmic creation is there. They are trying to find who is the creator, where is the creator, who has created this world. So they are trying to find the root. Okay, so they will find the root, and what will happen? Lastly, they will water the root only. But for a Vaishnava, they already know that Krishna is the root. So they are already started watering the root. So they are already started the devotional service. Okay, so this is the thing. And the process is to detach from the matter. Okay, so renunciation is the process of detachment from the matter. So artificially they are trying to control the senses. But in the Vaishnava sannyasi, they first attach themselves to Krishna, then gradually detachment happens. Okay, naturally happens. They don't have to put effort for that. Okay, so this is the thing. There is no happiness. No happiness. Why there is no happiness? Because there is no service only. So if there is no action only, there is no happiness only. Okay, you are sitting at one place, you are meditating, you are trying to stop the senses. There can be peace because purification. This will also lead to some purification. So there can be peace. Some peace will be there in the mind, but happiness won't be there. Why? Because there is no action. There is no service. If you are not trying, if you are not doing any action, how can happiness will be there? But in a Vaishnava sannyasi, they are already serving the Krishna, so happiness is there. Okay. Sense restricted cannot relish transcendental devotional service. They restricting the senses, so how can they enjoy the happiness, transcendental bliss? But the Vaishnava sannyasi, their senses are already engaged in Krishna, so they're relishing the transcendental bliss. Okay. Takes many births. Why? Because they will have to verify themselves, then come to the conclusion that Krishna is the supreme, then try to serve Krishna, then they will take the next, they will go to the Goloka. Okay. But in the case of Vaishnava, they already know Krishna is there. Directly they are serving Krishna. So there are greater chances that they will go to Krishna directly. Okay. So quickly achieve supreme personality of God. Study Sankhya philosophy. Sankhya philosophy means about the body, about the soul. Okay, so these things they will need, they read. But they study Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vaishnava, they will study the Srimad Bhagavatam directly about the Lord's devotee, the Lord's pastimes. They will read that. Okay. Okay, so Sariraka Bhasya and Vedanta Sutra by Shankaracharya. So they will read the Vedanta Sutra. But in the Vaishnava, they study Srimad Bhagavatam, commentaries and Vedanta Sutra. Okay. May fall down to philanthropic and altruistic activities. So they can again fall down to the material world. But in Vaishnava sannyasi have multiple engagement in the devotional service according to the Pancharati regulation. So they are they're engaged in the devotional service. So there are less chances of fall down. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
Niyasa nitya sannyasi yo na dveshti na kankshati nirdvandvo hi mahabaho sukham bandhat pramuchyate.
So Krishna is saying one who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activities known to be renounced. So what is the meaning of renounce? Fruits. What is here the fruits? Okay. It is the fruit word. One who neither hate nor desire. Not Krishna is not telling that one who is renunciation of the work. He is saying one who is renunciation of the fruits of work. It is called renunciation. Okay. One who neither hates nor desires the fruits of his activity is known to be always renounced. Okay. Such a person, free from all dualities, easily overcomes material bondage and is completely liberated. Oh mighty Arjuna. So the key point here is one who has no attachment with the fruits of action. It's called renunciation. Okay. So in the purport, what Prabhupada has written, one who is fully in Krishna consciousness is always a renunciator. Why is renunciator? Okay, because he feels neither hatred nor desire for the results of his action. Such a renunciant, dedicated to the transcendental loving serving of the Lord, is fully qualified in the knowledge because he knows his constitutional position. So Krishna was saying about the knowledge, transcendental knowledge. So transcendental knowledge, Prabhupada is saying that he is knowing by the transcendental knowledge that Krishna is the supreme and our position is just a server. There's a menial server, the servant of Krishna. So we should serve Krishna. So he knows the position. So he has the knowledge and he's working to serve him. So he's working also. So both are same only. Okay. So qualified in the is fully qualified in knowledge because he knows his constitutional position in his relationship with Krishna. He knows fully well that Krishna is the whole and that he is part and parcel of Krishna. So he knows his position and then he is engaging himself in the service of Krishna. So he has knowledge also and he is working also. So both are there. Okay. So he has renunciated the fruits of action.
Sankhya yoga prathak balaha pravadhanti na panditaha ekam apyastita samyak ubhayor vindate phalam.
Only the ignorant speak of devotion. So now Krishna is saying both are same only. So read, let's read the 5 points. Only the ignorant speak of devotional service as being different from the analytical study of the material world. That is Sankhya Yoga. So the only ignorant will think that these two things are different. Those who are actually learned, those who are actually transcendental knowledge, what they learn, say that he who apply himself well to one of these paths achieves the result of the whole. Okay. One who knows that the position reached by the mean of analytical study can also be attained by the devotional service, and one who therefore sees analytical study and the devotional service to be in the same level, sees the things as they are. So these two are same only. The Sankhya and the Bhakti are same only. The only subtle difference is there. What is the subtle difference? Let's read the chart. Let's read this slide, then we'll know. Okay. So both are neither hate or not desire for the fruits of action. Both are not desiring for the fruits of action. Neither hate or desire for the fruit of action. It is also free from duality. It is also free from the duality. It is liberated. It is also liberated. Comes to understand that he is soul, not this body, and becomes detached from the matter. Okay. So he becomes detached from the matter. And now, what is the difference here? Comes to understand that he is soul, not his body, but he becomes attached to working for the Krishna. So certain differences, he becomes detached from the matter. But in a case of Karma Yoga, that is Bhakti Yoga, he becomes attached to Krishna because he knows that he is not this body, he is soul. So he becomes attached to Krishna and he is part and parcel of Krishna, so he becomes attached to Krishna. But a Sankhya, but a Jnana Yoga yogi, what he does, he knows that he is not this body, he is not this body, he is soul. So he should not work because nothing is there in work. So that's the thing like that. So they become detached from the work. But a Karma Yogi, they become attached to Krishna. Okay, so this is the difference, subtle difference, attachment and detachment. So let's see what Prabhupada writes in the purport. Yes, Mataji, can you read this slide?
Yes, Prabhuji. In the first process, Sankhya, one has to become detached from matter, and in the devotional yoga process, one has to attach himself to the work of Krishna consciousness. Factually, both processes are the same. Although superficially, one process appears to involve detachment and the other process appears to involve attachment. Detachment from matter and attachment to Krishna are one and the same. One who can see sees things as they are.
So one person who sees that if you are attaching to Krishna, detachment will already happen. Detachment will already naturally will come. Okay, so that is the thing. So detachment, attachment are if you are thinking that only detachment without attachment to Krishna, it is very difficult. Okay, because the path of the Mayavadi, path of the renunciation is very difficult. If you are detaching yourself, if you are attaching yourself to Krishna, detachment will come naturally because you are attaching to something higher, something loving service. transcendental loving service, if you're attaching yourself to Krishna, then what will happen? This material love will gradually decrease if you're attaching yourself to Krishna's love. This is the difference. The main, both are like same only. Only thing is, the devotional service we are doing, we are attaching ourselves to Krishna's first, then what will happen? Detachment will pursue naturally. Okay.
Sannyasasthu mahabaho dukkham aptum yogatah yoga yukto munir brahma na chirena adhigacchati.
Merely renouncing all the activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of love cannot make one happy. Why? Why cannot make one happy? So if you are renouncing all the activity and you are not engaging, so you are not doing any activity only. So there is no activity, there is no enjoyment. So if you are attaching yourself to Krishna, then you are already engaged in the service of Krishna. Then you will have them. Then you will know what is a transcendental bliss. Okay. Merely renouncing all the activity, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. So this is the thing. So the thing is devotional service. Devotional service, if we are doing, then all things will pursue. But a thoughtful person engaged in the devotional service can achieve the supreme without delay. So if you are engaged in devotional service, we can attain the supreme. Okay, and without service, we cannot be happy. Like that Krishna is saying. So this was the section number 1, question by the Arjuna, that which is better, renunciation or working devotion. So Krishna tried to clarify those things. Okay, now the section number 2, how to perform Nishkaama Karma Yoga. So Nishkaama Karma Yoga, Krishna was saying now how to perform. So one performing Nishkaama Karma Yoga identify neither with his body nor the activity that his body performs. Okay. So one who is doing Nishkaama Karma Yoga, he knows that he is not his body, his soul, and he does all these things not for this body, for Krishna only. So this is the thing. So neither with his body, he identify neither with his body. So he doesn't identify himself with his body, neither nor the activity that his body performs. So all the activity, whatever his body performs, he doesn't identify himself with that activity also. So what is Nishkaama Karma Yoga? One performing Nishkaama Karma Yoga identify neither his body, neither nor the activity that his body performs. By the detached action, he is free from the reaction of his activity. That is called after. So he will be doing all the activity, but he is detached from the fruits. Okay, he is not attached to the fruit. He is free from the reactions also. Okay. Perfect knowledge. I am not the material body, I am soul, part and parcel of Supreme Lord. So I must render service to him. So I will, this way I will work in a detached state. What is Nishkaama Karma Yogi? Who is a Nishkaama Karma Yogi? Who are you? So the question answer. Okay, with the Nishkaama Karma Yogi. So if you are asking a question, who are you? So I will tell, I am servant of God. What do you do? I do the work which is allotted by God to me. That is the prescribed duty. How do you do the work? I work hard with sincerity, dedication to my best ability. So how do you do the work? I work hard with sincerity, dedication to my best ability. So he is doing his work, but in very sincerity. He is doing all the work very sincerely, because Krishna has given that work, prescribed duty. So that is our prescribed duty. So we should do that duty with very, very sincerity, dedication. That will verify us. Okay. What do you do with the result of those duty? I hand over to God. Okay. So this is the question answer with the Nishkaama Karma Yoga. So if you ask this question with the Nishkaama Karma Yoga, this Nishkaama Karma Yogi will be answering in this way. Who are you? I am servant of God. What do you do? What work you do? Work which is allotted by God to me. How do you do the work? With sincerity, dedication, and best ability. And what the result? I dedicate the result to Krishna. Okay. Krishna consciousness and bodily consciousness. Steadily devoted soul offer the results to me. Bhagavad Gita 5.2 verse. Others are greedy for the fruits of labor, results in entanglement. So two things are there. One side Krishna is there, one side Maya is there. Krishna is liberation, Maya is entanglement, Maya is attachment. Okay, so if you're working for Krishna, you'll get liberation. If you're working for Maya, you'll have entanglement, you'll have attachment. Okay. One who works in devotion, who is a pure soul and who controls his mind and senses is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. Okay, so working in devotion, a pure soul, and who control his mind and senses. So these slides are mainly telling about the devotee. Okay, so they are working in devotion. They are pure soul. They control his mind and senses because they are dedicating the mind and senses to Krishna's service. He is very dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. Okay. And the person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always know within himself that he actually does nothing at all. So he is doing all those things, but he knows that he is not doing action in action. Okay. So because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, and opening and closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. So he is not knowing that these things, these entanglement, he is not entangled at all. How he is not entangled? So Krishna is giving the example of a petal. Okay. Padma Patram. Okay. Yes, Mataji.
ब्रह्मण्याधाय कर्माणि संगं त्यक्त्वा करोति यः लिप्यतेन स पापेन पद्मपत्रम् इवाम्भसा.
So one who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering with the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by the water. So Krishna is giving the example. So we are also working in this environment, in this material world. Everywhere we see contamination. Okay, just like the lotus leaf is there in the water. The leaves are there in the water. Yet, if you see this water, okay, they are there in the leaf, but this water is this leaf is untouched by the water. This leaf is aloof from the water. So we are doing this material activity in this material world. Okay, we are doing, but if we are surrendering the results to Krishna, we will be like the Padma Patram, like the lotus, this lotus leaf. Okay, will be like this lotus leaf, which is unattached to the foods, which is unattached to the worldly desires, worldly matters. Okay, this is the thing. So if we are performing our duty sincerely and giving the results to Krishna, that means we are doing the Nishkaama karma. And what we are doing, we are just like giving the results to Krishna, and we are not attaching ourselves to this worldly matter. We are not attached to this worldly matter. So this is the thing. Okay? Because if we are doing the activity, punya, papa, karma for our sense gratification. Krishna told that work is you cannot. It is very difficult to know the intricacies of work. Okay, very difficult. What is punya? What is papa? Very difficult to know. So anytime you can be entangled like that. Okay. So Prabhupada example is there. So he was working, but he was working for Krishna. Okay. What is this type of work? What is this type of work? They are doing for sense gratification. They are doing for the Lord. They are enjoying the God transcendental service. Okay, that glorifying the Lord. Yes, Mataji.
युक्तकर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिम् आप्नोति नैष्टिकीम् अयुक्तकामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते.
So the yogi abandoning the attachment act with body, mind and intelligence and even with the senses only for the purpose of purification. So yogis are working but only for the purification. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of all activity to me. So this is the thing. If they are working, but they are working in devotion, so they attain the peace. Okay. Whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. So the person who is working for the fruits of action becomes entangled. So this is the example of Nriga. King Nriga was there. What he was doing? King Nriga was fond of performing fruitive activity. So he was doing the activity for his self-satisfaction, fruitive activity. Sacrifices and charity he was doing. Okay. So once he was giving the charity to two Brahmana, okay, 100 cows he was giving to two Brahmana. Okay, so he decorated the cow, very nicely decorated cow. So 100 cows he will give to this Brahmana, 100 cows to Brahmanas were there. So what happened? One of the cow from the one group went to the other group. Okay, so when the charity happened, then what happened? Then the other Brahma came to know. Oh, from my side, one cow has gone to the other side, but the other Brahma is now not giving the cow because he has already got the cow in the charity. So they were fighting. Okay, so they were fighting because one of cow has gone to the one of the cow from the one group has went to the other group. So they started fighting, and then this fight became intense, and they last cursed the king. Okay, so king was trying to work for his self-satisfaction, for his sense gratification. So he was trying to for the sacrifices charity. And what happened? One mistake happened. That is, the cow has went from here and there, and this satisfied the two Brahmana and incurring sinful results to become lizard for a very time. So they cursed the king, you will become lizard. Okay, so the king became a lizard and was lying in a well. Okay, and that Krishna came, he got liberation. So he was delivered by Krishna. King Nriga confessing the futility of fruitive activity. Then King Nriga is describing this fruitive activity, whatever we are doing, even we are doing with some good mental speculation that okay, we are doing for some punya, then if some mistake will happen, what will happen? Then that will give us the bad results. That is the thing. So for whom we are doing changes everything. If we are doing for ourselves, then this can punya papa will be there. If you are doing for Krishna, then there won't be any punya papa. Okay. So last time there were too many discussion also that we should do charity, then Athalya or the different ashrama we should do charity or not. So this way you can understand. King Niga at last is saying the futility of the fruitive activity. So whatever activity you are doing, if you are doing for self, that is futility. Okay. Therefore, devotional service is the only auspicious activity for the soul. So only auspicious activity for soul is devotional service. So this is the end of section number 2. So we'll start with section number 3 from the next from tomorrow. Tomorrow is also Paniyatu festival. So we'll be going to the temple. So let's see if we come early by 6. If we come, then we can start the class. If 8 is there, then I will inform. So question answer, Mataji, last chapter number 4, question. Can you put the chat box?
Last time's questions, no, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, the question.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, yes.
Okay, so this is today's Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi. So I hope you all are having good Ekadashi, fasting, taking Krishna name, okay, chanting, reading your Krishna, association with the devotee. Very auspicious Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi. Okay. How many of you are doing keeping fast on this? When fasting, you can tell by raising hand. particular day. Okay, we should versus many different benefits are there. Okay, benefits, material benefits are also there, spiritual benefits are also there. So Ekadashi is very dear to Krishna. So if in Ekadashi we are not cooking, we are dedicating ourselves to Krishna, we are thinking about Krishna. So if you are not cooking, then we can give more time to Krishna. Okay? We can give more time for the devotional service. Okay, so if we are not cooking, if we are not feeding ourselves, then what will happen? We can give more time to Krishna. Okay? And some people try to take fruits only. So even if you are not grains from the fasting from the grains you are doing, that is also good. Okay? Because the fruits and all uncooked things are very easy to digest. So those are the things that's a spiritual benefit that we can uh, elevate ourselves to Krishna because we are attaching to Krishna's service, we are associating with the devotee, we are thinking about Krishna more. This is the spiritual benefit. Material benefit is that we should also take care of our body also. So if we are feeding our body daily, so we should give some time for the body to rest, for our digestive system to rest, so that it brings in itself. Okay, there are many studies are there, scientific studies are there, very many researches are there. So there are researches and they show that the person who is regularly doing the fasting, they live more peacefully like that. This is the thing. They are more healthy. So many benefits are also there. So we should give some time, some days for clarifying, for the cleaning of our body also. Okay, and even if one takes fruits and all, fruits are very rich in antioxidants. Okay, so and juicy fruits are there. So those things are there. So if we're taking those things, that also helps in betterment of bodily health also. So even for the body platform, it is good. Even for the soul platform, it is good. So we should try to uh, try to
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Sachin Prabhuji finished 1 lakh Harinam today. He's been trying to do it from some time. Haribol.
Radha, they have done it. What is there? Why is there only one ashrama in Sutra? Why? So question number one from the question from last session is there. Why is there only one ashrama for the Sutra? So definite answer I do not know. That because I haven't read anywhere that till now I haven't read that anywhere if it is in slide. So I will ask the devotee that made the slide so that I can answer it, this question clearly. Why is there only one ashrama? Yes, the ashrama for the Sutra. Okay. So definite answer I do not. I will definitely I will try to search for the answer for this and try to come back. Okay, the question number one will come back again. Question number two. The Lord says that he appears in this. The Lord says that he appears in his own body. He does not change his body, as common living entities change from one body to another. Conditioned soul may have one kind of body in present birth, but different kind of body in the next birth. Krishna appeared in his material body in his original eternal form with two hands holding a flute. My query. Even Krishna appeared in the material world in different form, like incarnation form, like Krishna, Rama, Krishna, Nrsimhadev, Varaha, Vamana, etc. So why is it written that God doesn't change body? So God, first thing is we should understand that God's body is transcendental. Okay, whatever He does is also transcendental. So God's body is also transcendental. So why He changed the body? So those the changes of the body is called the incarnation of the plenary portions. So they are plenary portions. So different Krishna has many qualities, different qualities. Okay, many kalas are there. Krishna. So when Krishna comes in different kala, when Krishna comes in all full qualities, okay, 64 kalas are there of Krishna. So when Krishna comes in all 64 kalas, then he is in original form, he is in original body. So that body in which Krishna is there, so he is in original body. So sometimes what he does, not all 64 qualities will be there. So one or more quality which is required, that quality will be prominent and he takes the planet force. Okay. So that in that way he takes it looks like a different incarnation, that different planet portion. So different incarnation, different planet portion, and this concept that all the 64 qualities are not there in those. So if Krishna is appearing with all the 64 qualities, that is Krishna is appearing in our own transcendental body. Okay. And if Krishna is appearing in different body like Narasimhadev, so some different qualities prominent forms. Okay. Krishna is appearing in Matsya Avatar, so different form, different quality, different gunas are needed for the. So Krishna is taking different types of the body will be there. So depending on the which type of Krishna is taking incarnation, which type of quality is needed in that incarnation, Krishna will take that. So that is it. But Krishna's body is transcendental. Which rasa has to take in for the same? Shanta rasa, Dasha rasa, Vatsala rasa, Madhurya rasa. Which rasa has to be taken for the same? Shanta rasa. I didn't get your question, Mataji. Which rasa has to be taken for the same? Shanta rasa. For us, for the devotee, is the Dasa rasa is there. Okay. So first is Dasa rasa. So first qualify for the Dasa rasa. Then others you can qualify. Okay. First qualify for the Dasa rasa. Try to become servant of Krishna. Okay. What is the next question? How to gel well with Supreme Personality of God? Gel well. The next question will be question number 3. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dangatana. I have come across a question in the Bhakti Vaksha group that why Vivashwan is not mentioned in the Surya Namaskar prayers if he is our sun god, as all other names are mentioned as Aditya, Surya, etc. Vivashwan is only mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Vivashwan is not mentioned only in Bhagavad Gita. If you read Bhagavatam, there also Vivashwan is mentioned. Okay, so this is not like that. Vivashwan is not mentioned. Vivashwan is the name of the present sun god. Okay, so that is the thing. If it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, we will consider that with authority. Okay? I do not know about Surya Namaskar and the Surya Namaskar prayers, so I cannot comment on that. But I have read the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, in that Vivashwan is mentioned as a sun god. So we take that authority, that as authority. Okay? And this is the thing. So we consider the things which is written in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam as authoritative. I haven't read about Surya Namaskar prayers, so I cannot definitely tell that Vivaswan is not. So maybe there are different words they are mentioning for the Surya, that is Aditya, Surya. Okay. The Vivaswan is the name of the sun, the deity which is presiding in the sun now. Okay. So that is called Krishna. And Vivaswan is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. My question is about soul. What happens to the soul in the state of coma? So, what happens to the soul when the soul is when the body is in coma? So, so if body is in coma, there are certain experiences are there, like out of body experience. Okay, so when when the body is coma, when operation is going on, sometimes whatever body comes out and sees that operation is going on with my body, but these bodies are for sometimes only. Okay, so out of body experiences sometimes happen. So what happens to the soul in the state of coma? So state of coma, the soul is still inside the body. When body is material, the body is there, the soul is there, both are entangled. So there is nothing, that soul is free. Soul is not. If soul comes out of the body, then body is there. If soul is coming from out of the body, then the body is not working. Okay. How the heart is working? Because of the soul only. So soul is not there in the body. Then heart is not working. Okay, so if heart is not working, person is like that. So this is the thing. So even if in the state of coma, heart is working, so that is inside the soul is there inside the body. Okay. Is it true that soul leaves the body for astral travel in deep sleep and again enters the body? These things are not happening. So many mystic yogis are there. Those who are perfect, those who can control the soul, body, like those things. Okay, those who can control the bodily activity, heart, all those things. They might go and travel those things, but for normal person, this is not the truth. Okay, because if the soul leaves the body is not itself in living. Okay, if you know that only life in the body is the soul. If the soul leaves the body is dead. So it is like that. So soul doesn't leave the body. Once the soul is liberated, does it have relation like paternal, maternal, marital, like soulmates? So does a liberated soul has its permanent eternal? No, this is not like that. So question is the soul having any relation with the body, like body relation we have like mother, father, wife, husband, children, like that. So is it like for the soul also? No, this is not the true for the soul. It is like waterlog in the water in the river. When many waterlogs are there, what will happen? When the water is flowing, then sometimes one waterlog will come, one good log will come in contact with the other good. So many goods are there in the river flowing, and while flowing, one good comes in contact with the other good, and that forms the relation like that. And sometimes what happens? And later those good will separate and those good will join with other good like that. Okay, so this is like that. So these relations are like temporary only. Only relation. Answer question in the last is soul is permanent eternal partner or family. So permanent eternal partner is same. Okay, one only. What is the one that we are servant? So our das that is called das. We are das of Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna. That is our relationship with Krishna. Okay, so that is the permanent eternal relationship that you are asking. Next question. It is said that the Lord does not incarnate alone, but with devotees like Arjun. Can it can it be that even Duryodhan and other bad characters are also part of Leela of Lord and playing the role as he is the supreme controller? Because as per him, all who died in the battle of Kurukshetra were destined to go to the Swargaloka. Why should all the bad personality go to the Swarga if their karmas are bad? The Lord does Leela for his pleasure and to give others normal human as learning lesson. So it is not like that they are all part and part. They are all taking part in the Leela. So Krishna is telling he takes the Yuga avatar, he takes the millennium after millennium, he comes to this earth. Why? Paritranaya Sadhunam. So Paritranaya Sadhunam is different. Vinasaya cha Duskritam is different. Okay. So Paritranaya Sadhunam for the pious people is different thing. And for killing the impious people is different thing. So both things are different. So one persons are part and parcel of Krishna's Leela. Other persons are like Duskritam. So they will be killed. So if they are killed by Krishna, they must have done some good work. They have some good work, some pious activity, some akarma they must have. That's why they are killed by Krishna. Okay, so that is the thing. So even if they are killed by Krishna, that is lucky only because Krishna is killing them. Krishna is in front of them. That's why they are very, very lucky because they are killed by Supreme Personality Godhead. They will attain liberation, but they do not have the loving service of the God. They do not want the loving service of the God. They do not enjoy the loving service of God. So what will happen? They won't go to the Swargaloka. So what will happen? They won't attain that devotional service of the Lord. So they won't have the bliss, those blissful enjoyment. So what will happen? They will be till the Brahma Jyoti only. So they will be wandering in the Brahma Jyoti only. They will be there. So because they don't have the loving service of the God, they just want the karma is there and they are killed by Krishna. So they become liberated, but they do not attain the loving service of God. So they are liberated, but they do not attain the loving service. They do not have the love of God. This is the difference between when a devotee is there. When they go to they attain liberation, they also attain the loving service of God. But these people, the other people, they do not attain the loving service of God. They are liberated, but they do not attain the loving service of God. So this is the difference between the devotee and the people like the Guru and all. Okay. Question number 5. Is it correct, Prabhuji? Body and mind comes after consciousness. Body and mind comes after consciousness. The body comes when a spirit soul takes another body, intelligence, mind, and ego comes with a sukshma body that is called uh, that is called sukshma. That one we have the gross body that is called stool body. Okay, that is this body. So we leave this body and we go to another body. We take another body. The soul takes another body, but along with the soul, sukshma body also goes. Okay, so body and mind comes after the consciousness. It's not all things go simultaneously, but there is hierarchy. That consciousness is better than intelligence. Intelligence is better than the mind. Mind is better than the senses. Okay. There is hierarchy, but it is not like that they will come after that, before that. So soul, spirit, soul first enters the body and then mind forms, not like that. Okay. Why are human minds very, very different? Why has Krishna not blessed us all with a good thought and less evil? Okay. Why Krishna has not blessed us with a good, more good thought and less evil thought? Okay. Why has he not taken the trouble of making us unique? Why has he taken the trouble of making us unique? Isn't this one of the reason for being in the age of parallel hypocrisy, that is Kali Yuga hypocrisy and parallel Kali Yuga? Where is our intelligence? When does a human mind receive it? Is our mind using any? Why is our choice so foolish? Free will is not at all conducive for us as we misuse it. So now, so many questions are there. Why intelligence? So first thing is body, mind, and soul. The mind, intelligence, mind, and the Sukshma Sharir and the soul go along to the next body. This is the first concern. Second, why intelligence is there, and why we are not, means why God has not given more good intelligence, less bad intelligence, like that. Okay, so this all depends on the free will. Okay, so this also I have explained in the last chapter also. So first thing is forcefulness and second is love. So these two things are there. We need to understand the difference. Okay. So one is forcefulness, one is love. Okay. So let's imagine one child is there. His father has died. He is in other relatives' house. So other relatives will forcefully try to give any work or any service or anything. Okay, so they will try to forcefully do that. So there is no love. That is called forcefulness. But if the child is with parents, okay, what will happen? Father is loving the child, so he will give some independence. He won't fully independent the child. Okay, child will be under the parents only, but he will give some intelligence, some freedom he will give. Okay, you want to eat this? Okay, take money to eat food. Okay, you want to do this work? Okay, you do this work, like that. So some independence they will do, not full independence. Okay, and he tell whatever work you are doing, you will have the results also. Okay, so do it nice way. So he gave intelligence also. You should do this work, you should do this work. So intelligence also he is giving. Okay, so you should do this work, you should avoid that work, you should do this work, you should avoid this work. But if child is very, very materially involved, very trying to enjoy that, okay, that thing looks very attractive. That other things which father has not told me, that things look very attractive. Let me try that, and he is trying that. So independence is there. Krishna is giving intelligence also, independence also. So by using the intelligence, we can choose between the correct and the wrong. But if you're too engrossed in the material environment only, if you're too, because those things look too attractive in the beginning. Okay, in the beginning those things will look too attractive, so we try to go toward that. So those things. Okay, so we try to avoid the intelligence given by Krishna. So that way. It will that way it will start. Okay, so like that. So at last we have already said free will not at all conducive for us as we misuse it. So this free will is not conducive for us. So first we should try to develop our intelligence, try to act based on that. Whatever written in Bhagavad Gita, try to sharpen your intelligence based on that. That's why that is the realization you have, that our free will is very, very dangerous. So utilize the free will. So next time when you have the choice between the two things, just try to understand which thing is better for me now and which things will be better for me in the future. Okay? The things which looks better for me now and dangerous in the future, that those things we should avoid. Devotional service, starting it is very, very difficult. Okay, who will wake up in the morning, who will take Ekadasi, who will do Ekadasi, who will observe the Ekadasi, all those things seems very, very difficult for. But when we start doing that, gradually we will release the nectar. Okay.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. The questions are over. Prameena Mataji has a question. Mataji, you can ask.
Okay, Mataji. Prabhuji, I was asking if the mind and intelligence, which are part of the subtle body, are also a part of the material world, or is it transcendental because it goes?
No, this is material world only, Mataji. If you see the material world composition, then it is 8 things which are making the material world. These 8 things, the Panch Mahabhuta, and these are these 3 things of the body, mind, and intelligence. So this is material world. Okay, Mataji. That question she has put in the chat was, Prabhuji, is our mind and intelligence also part of material world? Yes, part of material world. Or only the body is material world? Since mind and intelligence go with the soul. So they go with the soul, but they are not material. They are not transcendental. They are material only.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so tomorrow is Panihati festival, so we'll be going to the Panihati festival in the morning. So let's, if we return early, then we'll take class. I will inform you early, so that you are informed. I will inform Nanita Mataji. Mataji, any about the Bhakti Viksha group? Any announcement is there, or any confusion is there with any devotee? They want to ask about the Bhakti Viksha group.
No, Prabhu, if anybody has a question, they can ask. Otherwise, tomorrow we will be, if there is class, we will post the links to join, Prabhu. If there is no class, we'll post it in the WhatsApp group, not to worry.
Yes. I will tell you before, and Mataji, mostly we'll return by 6. So if you
Sure,
return by
Prabhu,
6,
sure,
you can
Prabhu.
start the class. Okay. Most chances are there that we'll return by 6 p.m. So we'll take the class.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yes, if anyone is having confusion, you can ask in the chat box. You can raise the hand about the Bhakti Viksha group. Mataji has already posted the maths in the Bhakti Viksha group. Okay. About the Bhakti Viksha group. So I'm stopping.